Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chief, the one half of Chief and Stereo. Let's Talk podcast. Um, so I'd just like to touch on a subject today. It's when it comes to United States news, what's happening overseas. You very rarely see it being broadcasted like day after day on CNN and Fox News and so forth, right? So, with this being said, in Kenya, there has been, how you say, a protest and a revolt against the government of Kenya, William Ruto, who is the president of Kenya, because basically he green-lighted a 50-bed facility to treat only, and I said only American citizens that has been exposed by Ebola. So in terms of Kenya, Ebola is spreading like in the west coast of Africa, and in addition to Central Africa. Now, the epicenter is in Democratic Republic of Congo, and he had killed thousands of people, and it's spreading, and the government didn't do anything about it initially, right? So now it's spreading, and the American government, Marco Rubio, is Secretary of State. They are concerned because of they don't want anyone that is an American citizen that is exposed by Ebola to be brought back into the United States for treatment. They said that they have to treat the symptoms and the issue where it took place. Now, mind you, the Democratic Republic is like in Central Africa, what have you, towards like the west coast of Africa. Kenya is on the east coast of Africa. Now, with these big mighty countries such as the United States and England, and the list goes on, they have to believe that any disease needs to be contained within Africa per se, and without it exposing anyone, meaning that American citizens. And even if they have to expose additional African citizens, because they would transfer American citizens who are exposed to the east coast of Kenya, right? They don't mind doing that because I guess maybe African lives don't really matter to them as much. A human is a human, regardless of whether or not they're African or Americans or Japanese or Chinese or what have you. It's the human spirit, right? It's valuable. Now, there has been like a riot in Kenya. People are burning facilities and looting, and the police are attacking them with tear gas and arresting them because they're up in arms, because they say, well, wait a minute, don't be trying to build this facility, right? And the facility is going to be used by American citizens as opposed to treating Kenyan citizens if they're exposed. Now, they're saying no. The president should have not approved this policy with the United States. Marco Rubio is basically saying, oh no, we're just going to treat the symptoms or what have you if we come across any symptoms, but if the exposure has become severe, they will transport the U.S. citizens either to Europe or in addition to the United States, right? But the Kenyan citizens are saying no way in hell. They know they're not going to bring any Americans back to America. They're going to leave them then right there in Kenya and possibly expose Kenyan citizens to the Ebola. There is no Ebola outbreak in Kenya or the east coast of Africa. I don't think there ever has been. And people on the east coast of Africa, right, they're very concerned that this might spread to the east coast and expose their citizens. So, let's see what transpires. The people are still protesting. We are not seeing this on American news. Yeah, they might have it on the internet or what have you, on CNN and MSNBC and Fox. If you Google it, you will see it. But In broadcast TV, you don't see any of that. And most people in general, they don't read. People don't read. People are visual by nature, right? And if people are seeing this, then they'll say, they would think twice and say, yo, that's not fair, right? But however, I do see it on BBC, and I do see it on Al Jazeera, and it's so funny that things that you normally see on BBC and Al Jazeera, you don't see it on American television like CNN, MSNBC, in addition to Fox News and so forth. So we watch and see what transpire. If there's any change of policy with Marco Rubio and the Trump administration, and whether or not the Kenyan government will agree with it further and go ahead and approve it, because if they say no, there's a possibility that the United States might put some type of sanction or visa sanction on them like they have done before. So please definitely watch. We will see. Stereo and I will update you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.